evening, via in person or online. I'm sorry, excuse me one second.
Sorry about that.
No, that's okay, sir, thank you. I'd like to introduce Councilmember Fernandez, Councilmember Woods, Councilmember Ambrose, Councilmember Osnick, Councilmember Locke, Mayor Pro Tem Lublin, and Mayor Ackley is online with us. Mayor Ackley, I would like to turn the meeting over to you now, please.
Okay, thank you. Welcome, everyone. I would like everyone to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The invocation will now be said by Mayor Pro Tem Lublin.
Dear God, we ask you to preside over this meeting tonight. Help us to act as a unified team to open our hearts and make fair and just decisions that improve our community. Also, may we come together as a whole with the courage and strength to show kindness and compassion as we collectively work towards the betterment of humanity. Amen.
Thank you. So at this time, I would ask the clerk to do a roll call and determine that we have a quorum.
Thank you. And for those attending online, please state the city and state that you're attending from. Ackley?
Alpena, Michigan, here.
Thank you. Ambrose?
Here.
Fernandez?
Here.
Locke?
Here.
Lublin?
Here.
Osnick?
Here.
Woods?
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, we do have a quorum. We have a full board. So we'll continue on with our meeting. Do we have any requests tonight for agenda changes?
Yes, Madam Mayor. I have two that I would like to introduce. This would be under new business, and it would be the annual performance review for the city manager, and another one, the annual performance review for the city attorney. Those would be under new business.
Okay. So you're wanting to agenda turned over here. All right, we'll do that as it looks like we got two item number twos.
This would be three and four.
Yeah, okay, 3 and 4. Okay, no problem. Anything else?
No, Madam Mayor.
Anybody else? Okay. All righty, we'll move on into the meeting. First item on the agenda is a proposal for resolution 2023-91 ratify the November 7th, 2023 general election results for the office of council member.
Lublin will make that motion.
Is there support?
Most nickel support.
Okay. Any discussion? Would you like read into the record who the winning candidates were, or are we all set there?
I can read the preamble, Madam Mayor, for each one if you'd like.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I can read the preamble for each resolution if council is accepted.
That might be a good idea, just to have it on the record, please.
Very good. The first resolution, 2023-91, a resolution ratifying the November 7th, 2023 general election results for the office of council member, accepting incumbent Ryan Woods as a council member. That motion was made and passed, and I would like to move into a roll call vote for that, please.
Okay,
Ambrose?
Yes.
Fernandez?
Yes.
Locke?
Yes.
Lublin?
Yes.
Osnick?
Yes.
Ackley?
yes.
Thank you.
Okay, motion passed. Why don't you go ahead for 2 and read the preamble, and then we'll make the motion and take the vote.
Very good. Resolution 2023-92, a resolution ratifying the November 7th, 2023 general election results for the office of council member, accepting incumbent Casey Robert Ambrose as a council member.
Do I have a motion?
Osnick will make the motion.
Is there
What's the
support?
What's the support?
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Fernandez,
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
Lublin,
Yes.
Osnick,
Yes.
Woods.
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Number 3, please.
Yes, ma'am. Resolution 2023-93, a resolution ratifying the November 7th, 2023 general election results for the office of council member, accepting incumbent Tambra Locke as a council member.
Do I have a motion, please?
Woods will make that motion.
Ambrose will second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Lublin,
Yes.
Osnick,
Yes.
Woods.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Fernandez.
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, now at this time, we'll need a motion for sign die of the current council.
You want to read that, or
There-
I'll make the,
I think,
I'll make the resolution for ratifying the appointment of Councilmember Ryan Woods as Mayor Pro Tem. That being proposed
We're not
2020.
there just yet. We
Oh.
we need to adjourn. We need to send out the current council. So I need a motion and a second to do the current council.
Osnick
please.
will make the motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Lublin
Locke
sup-
Second.
Locke, very good. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Okay, now we're going to have an organizational meeting of the new council, which will be the swearing in of the council members. So we'll turn that over to the clerk.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. HR Director and Deputy Clerk Sears will be coming before the credenza to provide the oaths of office. She will call each of you up, and you could join her in front, please.
I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution of the State of Michigan, the Charter and ordinances of the City of Little Lake, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of City Council member according to the best of my ability. Congratulations.
Your pen. Yep.
I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution of the State of Michigan, the Charter and ordinances of the City of Walt Lake, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of City Council member according to the best of my ability.
I do.
All right, congratulations. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution of the State of Michigan, the Charter and ordinances of the City of Walt Lake, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of City Council member according to the best of my ability. All right, you stand.
I would like to introduce the newly elected council as of November 7th, 2023, serving for 4-year terms, our newly elected incumbents and current council. Councilmember Minnie Fernandez, Councilmember Ryan Woods, Councilmember Casey Ambrose, Councilmember John Osnick, Councilmember Tamara Locke, Mayor Pro Tem Lublin, and Mayor Ackley. Thank you all. And now,
Thank you.
thank you. Sorry, Mayor, go ahead, please.
Okay. I guess at this time now, we have the new council. And we need to do a little reseating at this time. Do we do that now or after the meeting? I'm sorry.
That's okay. I would just, item number 3, proposed resolution 94, ratifying the appointment of our new mayor pro tem. We need to move
We
forward.
can do it at that time, right? I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Just a little bit. It's only been a couple years. What can I say?
Very good.
Okay. And it's a little different setting up here in the air, watching it, the be right setting there. Okay, we have a presentation tonight.
Nope.
The recovery and
Madam Mayor, we still need to approve Resolution 2023-94, a resolution ratifying the appointment of Councilmember Ryan Woods as Mayor Pro Tem.
I'll make that, I'll propose that resolution. that
Thank you.
being
Fernandez will second.
23-94.
Hernandez, thank you.
I'm sorry, I'm a little bit confused here tonight. Okay, we have a motion. Any questions, any comments? Let's do a roll call, please.
Osnick,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Fernandez.
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
Lublin.
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
So at this time, could we please swear Ryan Woods in as the new mayor pro tem?
I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution of the State of Michigan, the Charter and ordinances of the City of Waldeck, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of Mayor Pro Tem according to the best of my ability. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations, Brian.
Okay, so now we have a new mayor pro tem. So at this time, I would ask that you switch seats.
You and I, Ryan, are switching.
miss me.
You're moving over. You got the hot seat.
You're not moving on out, you're just moving on over.
It's okay.
Closer to the door. Congratulations, buddy.
Good evening, sir.
Welcome.
And just make sure you let Ryan know that he can't be switching my chairs because I'll just sit down when I'm sitting there.
It's for Casey. I have it.
Okay, now that I'm right on track here, now we can do the Resource Recovery and Recycling Authority presentation by Mike Gaspel. Is there anything you want to say first, Mr. City Manager, or we'll go right into the presentation?
Is there anything you would like to say first, City Manager? She had asked, or would you like to move right into the presentation?
I'd like Ms. Pesta to introduce for the audience our speaker and take it from there. We're going to ask for perhaps a resolution to be approved tonight, but the council gets to make that decision. So introduce Mike and what we're trying to do tonight with RSOC's presentation.
Sure. So before us tonight is Mike Sapo. He is part of our recycling authority for Oakland County. And he is here to do a quick presentation. We are looking to do a GFL contract extension. They have been our refuse hauler for the last couple years here. So it is time for a discussion on that extension, and he is here to present our findings and to answer any questions you may have.
One of the questions they're going to have is what's the percentage of increase and what does that mean in dollars?
Yep.
You can probably help us, Ms. Pesta, you can help us too. And maybe we can limit the whole discussion on it, but then we'll be asking for the resolution.
Yep.
Mike, I think you're on.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate the chance to be here. Thanks for to Chelsea for putting the PowerPoint together. And I'm falling apart up here, by the way. So this is the button, right?
Yes, that is.
Point it that way. There we go. So for those of you who don't know, I'm the general manager of the Resource Recovery and Recycling Authority of Southwest Oakland County. We're the municipal authority of which the city is a member. Our role is to help you have cost-effective, environmentally responsible curbside services for your residents for trash, recycling, yard waste, bulk item pickup. And one of the things that we like to do is put the decisions like you had before you tonight into context. Here's some of that context. These are metrics from last year. The city recycled at a rate of 28.4%, which compares, by the way, to the state's recycling rate of 19%. So your performance in terms of environmental impact and getting those materials into the circular economy so value-added activity can take place with them is very good. This graphic here gives you some other metrics about the environmental impacts and, you know, how many tons of this and how many tons of that, and you can read that at your leisure. But what's important to me is that number there in the bottom left. If you look at the metrics there, every year we go through and we look at what are other cities spending and what are our communities spending for these types of services. Wall Lake came in about half as much as the regional average. $50.10 per capita is what you spent last year for trash and recycling services, which compares to a regional average of over $102. So long story short, this community and your administration has kept a very, very sharp pencil over the years, and we think that the proposal that's on your agenda tonight will allow that service level to continue and that cost effectiveness to continue. But to give you some additional context, these are numbers from this current fiscal year, 23-24, and this is a comparison of household expenditures per capita, or excuse me, per community. You look very down there near the bottom, there's Walled Lake. Very, very low expenditures. Some of the other communities that you're comparing yourselves to are other Rossack communities for the most part. You'll see some larger communities down there, you know, Dearborn Heights, Farmington Hills are actually spending more per household than your community is. One of the things that we thought would make sense is, well, what happens if you do get a rate increase, because this proposal does call for a modest rate increase. As you know, everything is going up, and so the proposal would end up giving you a, let me see, what's the number, 13% rate increase over what you're currently spending. But to put that in context, if your rates went up and nobody else did, you'd still be very low. And this isn't really a fair comparison, to be honest with you, because Walled Lake moves up a little bit on the chart because I'm incorporating new costs from your potential contract extension into this. All these other communities are going to see increases, but they're not shown on this graph because I don't know what they all are. I can tell you, for example, Southfield is going to see a 30+% increase because they've been enjoying a very, very low cost, below market rate for a number of years, and they just went through a request for proposal process, and they're going to see a 30+% rate increase. Another way to put this in context, if you go back to 07, 08 and look at what the city's budget is for solid waste expenditures, this is not just your contractor's costs, but your household hazardous waste costs, your internal costs for managing trash and solid waste, and, you know, what your DPW incurs. There's your 07, 08 actual expenditures. To the right of that's your current budget. To the right of that is what you would be spending if you had, since 07, 08, been increasing your expenditures and adjusting them for inflation every year. And then that final column is what you would have spent this year if your expenditures had been adjusted for both inflation and population change over the past several years. So this is just another way to illustrate that you've kept a very sharp pencil over the years. And I think that, you know, the residents of this community have you know, something to be proud of. But if we were to look at that potential cost increase as a part of the extension, incorporate that into this graph, this is what it looks like. So you'd see, next year you'll see a small increase. Again, this is a little bit unfair because those two numbers on the right would also increase due to inflation. But long story short, you know, your expenditures, even with this potential price increase from the proposed extension, you're still well below what you would have been spending if, since over the last 15 years, you were just adjusting your costs due to inflation. So it's a very cost-effective program that you have here. The current contract ends next June 30th. The proposal is a 3-year proposal to start July 1st. It would be a one-time rate increase to adjust for conditions of the market. And then you would have, after that, 2 years of inflation-based adjustments based on the CPI. The continuation of all the current services, no change in your services, and again, the price would change each July, at the end of each June of the 2 following years. One thing I would offer is that, you know, you do have, of course, the option of soliciting proposals. The challenge there is that it's a process you have to follow. I would be willing to bet that you would end up with the same exact price proposal that you have now. We just went through this with the city of Southfield. GFL is their incumbent as well. They offered an extension proposal, but because they were going to see a 30% plus price increase, they said, we can't do that without going out for bid. They went out for bid. GFL stuck with what they had proposed through the bidding process, and they were the low bidder. And the 2 other incumbents were, the 2 other proposers were well over GFL's pricing. In fact, they were in excess of $200 per household per year, approaching $250 a year. Which compares to, you know, in your case, $184 per household per year. So I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I'm here to answer any questions. I'd also like to introduce Jeff Gomez and Ron Caramagno with GFL. They're here to answer any questions from the vendor if you have any questions. And with that, I'll hand back the question.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Any council have any questions or concerns or specifics that they would like to ask at this time?
I'd like to make a comment. You mentioned that the amount of increase would be about $180 a year per household, which represents about $15 a month. To me, that sounds very reasonable.
Yeah, it is $184.20 per household per month. It's $15.35. Yeah, for 3 trucks a week coming out to your house, it's a pretty good deal.
Well, just looking at it for the individual household, that's a very small increase, $15 a month. You know, and we all know that everything's gone up outrageously the last couple of years. So I think that sounds like a good proposal.
I don't know what the feeling of council is, but my feeling is the quality of service, the price that we're receiving. I don't see any reason to even think about going out for bids. I don't think it's going to benefit us, and I think our service has been superb, and the price is certainly proving that it's well within reason. I'm not sure what the rest of my fellow council members think, but if anyone wants to make comments or if you're ready to make a motion, that's fine too.
I did have a question. Well, first thing, GFL does a great job time-wise, right? So 7 o'clock in the morning, if they're there before they're actually parked, you know, out of the neighborhoods, and they're coming in on time, they do a great job of picking up. In the future, you know, there's a lot of efficiencies to be had with the operation. You see in Novi, right, using articulating arm to pick up, and then noticing on the graph, they are actually the cheapest cost. Obviously, there's some capital that goes into that with larger trash cans, something we couldn't necessarily do at this point. But what do you recommend for us going further in terms of trying to keep our costs down?
Yeah, I would continue to be open to the possibility of adding carts to your community. That is the trend, carts for recycling and carts for trash, and that does allow for automated collection. It allows for a cleaner look, but carts aren't for everybody. You know, a lot of communities, they just don't have room. They don't have big enough garages and places to store those carts, but I'd certainly stay open. to that possibility, and that's something to be discussed during the term of the contract extension. You know, once this contract extension during the next 3 years, we could have that conversation and see if, you know, the time is coming to make the transition to carts. I would also add that the reason you see such a low price for Novi is not just because of their size and because of the carts, but there's actually a big history to why that price is what that price is. That's, you know, beyond the scope of this discussion tonight. But I always encourage people not to look at, you know, community by community, but look at the trend. Where do you fall on the spectrum? What's the context? But when you compare yourself to one community, like, there's always so many variables that go into it that you kind of go down a rabbit hole. But I would definitely encourage you to just be open to changes in technology as they come about, whether it's carts or whether it's, you know, changes in the way business gets done using, you know, cameras and automation.
Excellent.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I'd like to add that they do an excellent job, and I see no reason to change. And at this point in time, I would make a motion to accept their proposal.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second on the floor?
Locke will second that.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second. Is there any further discussion?
Which resolution is that, Madam Clerk?
That would be 2023-95.
So that you're going to take it out of order then, so.
Well, no, it's the next item that's actually on the agenda as far as resolutions go. So
Okay.
we will still remain 95,
Good.
sir. So we had a
Okay,
motion, we
sure.
had a second, and I will do the roll call, Mayor.
I think we are, as long as there's no other
Read that
discussion.
into the record. 2023-95.
Council's desire, yes, you let me know.
Sure. This being Councilmember Osanik's proposed resolution, the resolution of the City Council authorizing and directing the city manager to execute the solid waste yard waste recycling collection and disposal agreement and extension with Green for Life, GFL. Proposed resolution 2023-95.
I believe that's what his motion was, yes.
Yeah, yeah. It goes right to the end.
Read it by title.
Right.
Roll call vote, Madam Mayor.
Please, I'm ready.
Woods,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Hernandez,
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
Lublin,
Yes.
Osnick,
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and again, I want to thank the gentleman that came out tonight. Your presentation was very good. Your service has been excellent, so we're quite happy.
My pleasure, Madam Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Gentlemen.
Thank you.
Okay, next item up is audience participation. If there's anyone in the audience, I'll turn it over to the city clerk.
Thank you. For anyone in the audience that wishes to speak, we do ask that you approach the podium. Please state your name and address, and you will have 3 minutes to speak. For those that are attending online, you may press *9 on your telephone keypad, and that will activate the raise hand feature for virtual attendance questions. There is no audience physically, and there is no audience online, Madam Mayor, that wishes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mhm.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is the approval of the regular council meeting of October 17th, 2023. Do I have a motion?
Lublin will make the motion to receive and file and approve the regular council meeting of Tuesday, October 17th, 2023, and the public hearing.
Woods will support.
Okay, we have a motion, we have support. Any discussion? Any adjustments, changes? Roll call, please.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
Lublin,
Yes.
Osnick.
Yes.
Woods.
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, is there any council member that has a report to submit on any committee that they're setting as a voting member, or just attending committee meetings because of an interest, or that's the meeting that they attend? Do you have any reports back to council?
At this time, Madam Mayor, I'd like to report that the Planning Commission did not have a meeting. We had no items on the agenda. However, we do have a item that the city attorney will address as far as the ordinance change for the zoning change on 14 and Decker.
Okay,
That's all I have.
I thank you. That'll be handled down the city attorney's report, I believe. Okay, is there anybody else that has any reports?
I have a report. The library met on Friday, and visits have increased significantly. A lot of that is part of the adult programs. They're very well attended. In fact, there's like waiting lists for charcuterie board planning and estate planning and different things. So the construction is completed. It looks great, and I think people are enjoying the improvements. Also, as of January 1st, we're going to go with a new trend of not charging a fee for overdue books. The idea is to get the books back and not collect 10 cents or 25 cents a day. And we're going to attempt that and see how that goes. There's not that much collected as far as that. If you lose a book, you'll still owe for, you know, a lost book or, you know, something like that. But that's something that we're going to give a try. That's our library report. And I also have another, I did talk to Randy Thomas today about the school property. It still has not been approved. The state is really the school's representative handling that matter has not got that where it needs to go. And they hope by February, and he hopes to market it in March. So that's where we are on the school property.
The state told me they were ready to give it.
They were.
Yeah, and that was like a year ago. They said they were right at that moment, so I can
The
call.
representative of the school district has
Okay,
not.
I'll call
been
Randy.
timely.
Okay.
Don't look at me, council member. You don't want me to start talking about the school property.
Don't start me on.
They
State
didn't start the
departments
process right. They're not ending it right. They spent bond money to tear down a building that they could have sold and gotten on the tax roll. We're losing tax dollars. School board doesn't care because they don't pay taxes, but they want all kinds of services from the city. So we'll talk about that in the January meeting.
Thank you. That's it.
I look forward to that.
We all do.
Okay. The mayor has no special report tonight. So we'll move on to the city manager's report.
Before I ask the council to approve the departmental reports, I'd like to introduce my staff. We are live streaming here with some upgraded cameras and audio, and hope that it looks good out there. I'm going to start with the city clerk, Ms. Stewart, Jennifer Stewart, my human resources director and deputy clerk, Miranda Sears, finance director, Chelsea Pesta, fire chief, Paul Shakinis. Love saying that. He's the interim fire chief. We haven't posted yet. We're still working on that. We're working on audits and kind of getting a handle on what's going on in the fire department. With the chief's help, we should be going out posting that for a permanent fire chief, and he gets to go back in the police department if acting chief of police will let him sit in the chair again. So, and having said that, I would introduce the acting chief of police. She's in the back. Heather Koke, General Service Director Scott Schrader is in the audience, and our Public Works Superintendent Dan Ladd. And does anybody here know what time it is in Hong Kong?
12 hours?
Well, it's about 9:04 in Hong Kong. And joining us from Hong Kong is Miss Hannah Jakeways. Ms. Jakeways, can you speak?
I think we just lost her.
She was on.
Oh, she caved in. Oh, well, she's up early. She's in Hong Kong on a vacation with family. And, but she did log in. I saw her earlier and I thought she was still on there. So that's our staff. We're looking to have a good year coming in January. And so with that, I would ask the city council to, he's not a department head yet. Who asked to have him introduced? You know, it's a.
Let me introduce myself, sir.
Oh, yeah.
From the fire department, our deputy fire chief.
Well, then that's your responsibility, Chief. Jason Gonzalez, my special pick for deputy fire chief, formerly, and fire marshal. So, Jason, thanks for coming. He tells the chief, the interim chief, that fire's hot, water's wet. I need the council to move to receive and file the divisional statistical reports.
Locke will
Do
move.
I have a motion, please?
Woods will second.
I'm sorry, who made the motion?
Locke made the motion and Wood seconded.
Okay, I didn't hear who made it, I'm sorry. Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Fernandez.
Yes.
Locke.
Yes.
Lublin.
Yes.
Osnick.
Yes.
Woods.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, do we have any correspondence?
No,
Or, I'm
Madam.
sorry, Mr. City Manager, do you have anything else? that's
That'll
not-
be all for tonight.
Okay. Do we have any correspondence?
No, Madam Mayor, we do not.
Mr. Attorney, I know you have a report tonight.
I do. Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of council. Before you tonight is for first reading, is a zoning ordinance amendment that proposes a rezoning of the parcel at the northeast corner of 14 Mile and Decker from its current zoning of C1, which is neighborhood commercial, to C2, which is general commercial. The landowner is proposing that it be conditionally rezoned. Conditional rezoning is a landowner-initiated process whereby the landowner can propose conditions that would be imposed on the zoning, on the rezoning if it was approved. And in this case, the landowner has chosen to do that. Basically, what they're doing is they're proposing to limit the future use and development of this parcel if it was approved for C2 for use as a multi-tenant commercial building where you would have a unit that would be used as a drive-through restaurant. We've been told it's going to be a Starbucks. Hopefully, it will. And then another unit as well, which would just be available for a general commercial tenant. So the advantage to a conditional rezoning versus a straight up rezoning is that you know what is that if you approve the rezoning, you know what you're going to get, as opposed to just doing a straight up rezoning to where it's wide open. There's many uses under the C2 zoning, but in this case, you know what you're going to get if you go ahead and approve this. It did go before the Planning Commission back in last month in October for site plan approval and also for special land use approval and also for the required public hearing for the proposed zoning ordinance amendment. The Planning Commission did recommend the requested conditional rezoning. They approved the site plan for the proposed future use, and they also approved the special land use as well. The special land use is for the drive-through portion of the development. So basically, that's what's before you tonight. Because it is a rezoning, it is considered to be an ordinance amendment, so it requires a first and a second reading. We've taken care of the public hearing at the Planning Commission. It's before you tonight for the first reading, and then it would come back to you at the January meeting for the second reading for final adoption. So you'd still have, an opportunity between now and then to think about it further before you did give it final approval. So basically, in a nutshell, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Is council ready to make a motion, or do we have, you have questions of the city attorney first? No? Are we ready for a motion for first reading?
Olsonic will make the motion to ordinance number C 371-23 to amend the City of Walled Lake zoning ordinance, an ordinance to amend Title 5, zoning and planning, Chapter 51, zoning Article 3.00, Section 3.02, zoning district boundaries to rezone a certain parcel from C1 to C2 and to amend the zoning map to reflect the changes to the zoning district boundaries. That's the motion.
Thank you.
Lublin
Is
support.
there a second, please?
Lublin.
Okay, we have a second. Any questions or comments on this? Roll call, please.
Locke,
Yes.
Lublin,
Yes.
Osnick,
Yes.
Woods.
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Fernandez,
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Do you have anything further, sir?
That concludes my report, Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you. There's no unfinished business. Moving into new business, we've already taken care of the first resolution regarding the solid waste contract. Now we can move on to the second resolution for filing of the audit for fiscal year 2023. Are you ready for a motion?
Black will make that motion.
Olsonic will support.
Okay, we have a motion, we have support. Any questions on it? Anything you want to discuss? There being none, we'll have a roll call.
Lublin,
Yes.
Osnick,
Yes.
Woods.
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Fernandez,
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, the next item on it is the cancellation of the December 5th regular scheduled city council meeting.
Black will make that motion.
Woods will second.
Okay, anybody want to discuss it or object to it or? Okay, roll call vote.
Osnick,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Fernandez,
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
Lublin,
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Everybody's got their flyer for the tree lighting. So council members, do you have anyone have any comments? Let's start with Council Member Fernandez.
Mayor, we have two other items to address that were added under new business.
I'm sorry.
Performance reviews.
Yep, we have 3 and 4, I'm sorry.
So who, performance review
right.
of,
Right, Madam Mayor, John Osnick will lead off with this, depending upon whether the city manager, the first one will be for the city manager, a performance review. Of course, he has the option to go into executive session. It's his call as to whether he requires that or not. If not, I think we are ready to review his performance as being satisfactory.
Okay,
Since I don't have a vote, I just have a motion, but I'll waive the closed session and have an open discussion about my performance for the last year.
okay, thank you. Anybody have any comments that they would like to make before we entertain a motion?
Madam Mayor, I made the motion. I just need a second, and then we can go into discussion.
Well, I didn't hear a second, so I didn't know if they
No,
were
I
ready
didn't
to
hear a
make-
second either.
Well, Black will second that.
Okay.
Well, I didn't hear a second either. That's
I didn't know if we were ready for a second or John was jumping the gun and they wanted to talk first. I
No.
never know about my council. Okay, we have a motion, we have a second.
No,
And
we-
that's to rate the city manager as very good. Very, very, very good. So what's the discussion? Anybody got anything to say?
I'll speak for myself. It's probably the sentiment of the rest of council, but satisfactory is he well exceeds satisfactory, in my opinion. So that is my opinion. Satisfactory is extremely acceptable.
I'll take satisfactory. Thank you.
I agree.
Anyone else?
I would prefer extraordinarily good, but, but extraordinarily, yeah, extraordinary. This city
That's
manager,
not what you made, that's not, where's your
the city
motion?
manager has performed quite well over the years and given us excellent service. And he's here pretty much 24/7 on occasion.
I agree.
Anyone else? Okay, I too would agree with my council. I think the city manager has done an excellent job for Wall Lake, and we could sit here tonight and reminisce where we were when he came and where we are now, and I think we're all very pleased and very happy and glad to have him at the helm. So with that, it doesn't seem like anybody else has anything else to say, so let's do a roll call vote.
Woods,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Hernandez,
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
Lublin,
Yes.
Osnick,
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, now we do have one more. I wrote the numbers down, but I didn't write down what was coming after the numbers, so that's why I kind of jumped past them. We have a performance evaluation for city attorney.
That's affirmative.
Are you going to start out with the motion, sir?
Yes, yes, Madam Mayor, I will propose a motion to recommend that the city attorney has given us satisfactory performance for this year.
Okay. And do I have a motion? Or I mean, a support.
Locke will second that.
Okay.
Okay. We have a motion. We have a second. Are we ready for comments?
Yes. Got any comments?
I'm gonna keep all my comments together at the end.
Okay, all right.
I'll make I have a comment. Again, I believe that and I think we can all concur, but this is my item, and I think Van's done an excellent job, and satisfactory he exceeds satisfactory. So I am very comfortable giving a satisfactory performance review.
And for the record, I do waive the closed session.
In that regard, Mayor, I'd like to speak. I think I have a voice.
I think you do.
You might want to go into closed session. I would like to say that working with the city attorney is a pleasure. I've worked with a few city attorneys and county attorneys through the years. He's the best I've ever worked with. We get it done, cut to the chase kind of thing. And he's making my office look pretty good. I also would point with my own performance. Not only does he make me look good, but the staff that's here and my representative in Hong Kong, that team makes me look good. And we'd like to think we make the city attorney look pretty good, Tom. So we work together. It's been a team effort since he joined us, even when he was with the other companies. So I think the council is right in finding his performance as satisfactory for this year.
And I would agree with the city manager. The skill and the competence of the staff in general really does make my job a whole lot easier. You know, you're only as good as the tools and materials as you've been given to work with, and I've been given very good tools and materials here.
Thank you, Van.
Amen.
Anyone else? I would also like to echo the sentiments of my council. I think working with Van has been an extreme pleasure. I think he's brought a lot to the city, and I am so glad that we made the move and brought Mr. Venerian on as a full-time employee. He's very good at his job, but he's also very easy to work with. In my 40-some years at Oakland County, I worked with a lot of attorneys. And Van is probably, well, I will say, he's one of the best that I've worked with. Not he's good, and not that he always agrees with me, but he always has the appropriate reason and helps me see the way things should actually operate and go. So I think we're very lucky to have him on board, and I hope he stays and serves us for quite a while. Doesn't decide he likes deer hunting better than he does being an attorney. So anyways, at that point, I think we're ready for a motion, we're ready for a vote. Madam Clerk?
Ambrose?
Yes.
Fernandez?
Yes.
Locke?
Yes.
Lublin?
Yes.
Osnick?
Yes.
Woods?
Yes.
Ackley?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. I think I'm ready to go on to council comments. I don't think I've missed anything else. Let's start out with Tamara tonight. Do you have any comments?
I'd just like to thank everyone who came out and voted. It's been such an honor working with everyone, working for our citizens. And like Van said, you're only as good as the people that you work with. And I got to tell you, we have the best staff. So I thank you all. And I'm looking forward to the next 4 years.
We're looking forward to it as well. John?
Well, all I can say is this has been the best move of my life of working with this council and this staff. This has been a very fulfilling tenure. We have accomplished so much. We also have, switching gears and go, we have a tree lighting ceremony on December 4th. And with that, I would like to wish everyone in the community a very happy Thanksgiving and a very Merry Christmas and a very, very prosperous New Year. Those are my comments. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Mindy?
Well, I wanted to say, with Thanksgiving coming up, that, and I want to thank Dan because, man, I drove up Maple and just got in the holiday spirit with all the lights. So thank you. Your team has done a great job. And our electric bill will be, hopefully is in the budget. Excellent. But thank you so much. It really does lend a happy spirit to our community. And I'm so glad that the team is back together and you guys all got elected. It's truly an honor to work with this council. Very thorough, thoughtful people helping the community and leading the community. So I want to say thank you and congratulations. And go to the tree lighting. Tree lighting and the 4th. Awesome.
Thank you. Bennett?
Well, I totally concur. We have a good team. It's the council, it's the city manager, it's administration, it's our fire department, it's our police department, it's our public works. All of our people really work well together, and that's what makes us a great city. And we have done great things. Just want to say happy holidays to everyone, and also our fire department. So our fire chief retired. And when I look at the statistical report, 4 minutes and 34 seconds response, still outstanding. And so that means that the team is picked up and continues to do well. So good job with that. Have a great holiday.
Mr. Casey?
I want to thank everyone as well that came out and voted. I'm excited to serve this community I call home for the next 4 years. Like I said, I'm proud to call it home. I own a business here. I live here for all 23 years of my life. I'm excited to continue that. I'm excited for the tree lighting as well. I hope to see all of these familiar faces out here. I want to thank City Manager and his staff. They do a tremendous job. Our police, our fire, keep our city, our community safe. That's really it. I'm excited for another 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Our new Pro Tem Woods.
Well, I wanted to keep my comments during the performance reviews as a group because, you know, you've heard it up here, it's the teamwork, right? So city manager, city attorney, city staff, DPW, fire department, police department, you know, it is a team and it shows coming down the street. It just shows. So appreciate that. Congratulations to Councilman Ambrose, Councilwoman Locke on your reelection. It's great to work with you and then the rest of the staff too and the council members and the mayor, right? You can have a conversation. We don't always agree, but you know, you can talk it out and I feel like you can do that with anybody. So I appreciate that. Happy Thanksgiving. Go Lions. Go Blue. And I'll see you at the tree lighting ceremony.
Thank you. I too would like to congratulate the newly elected old council people. It's great to continue momentum that we've had. I think it says a lot for the people in Wall Lake that they put their trust in the council that exists here, and I put my trust in them. And I appreciate the support of the council and the city staff, and they have supported me in the last few years in more ways than I can ever say thank you for. And I'm very proud to be part of Wall Lake. And this summer, when I celebrated my 70th year in Wall Lake, I am very proud to say I'm a lifelong resident of Wall Lake and I don't want to live anyplace else. It's a great town. And I'm anxious for the tree lighting. I have, you know, the Memorial Day is nice, kind of in a way, a solemn event. But my two favorite events are the Mayor's Trunk or Treat and the tree lighting, because those two events are for the children of the community in the surrounding area. And I am so excited to be able to welcome these children and bring as many as I possibly can up onto that stage. It used to be there was one person and it was generally the one child. We had him every year, I think from the time he was born till he was 20 years old. He always lit the lights and that was the only one up there. Now, as long as the stage doesn't fall in, and I think Dan reinforces it every year for me, I'll let every little child in Wall Lake, and older child that wants to come up and help that turn that switch. That's what it's all about. The tree lighting is for the kids, and it tells them what the meaning of Christmas is, but it's just the beginning, and it's a very, very special event to me. And I hope to see as many people there as can make it out. So, and with that too, Merry Christmas to everyone. We won't have another meeting and we'll be here after the first of the year. So I thank everyone and have great holidays. So with that, I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay. Those in favor?
Aye.
We'll go home.
Thank you. Good evening.
Can I get all the council members who took their oath to remain here, if we can, and get you to sign off on, we did the ceremony, but signing that document and getting it filed, so